Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another Storm My CD collection. This is part 137. I want to show you guys some of the CDs I picked up over since from last year, from the middle of last year to late last year. I got more CDs I gotta show off, but I figured I'd just show you guys some of the CDs I bought since last year. All right. So first song I want to show you guys is Xscape with their debut album, Hummin Comin At Cha, released in 1993. For those who don't know who they are Atlanta, Georgia-based group which consists of 4 members, which consisted of Candy Burris. Everybody knows her from the Housewives of Atlanta. Oh my god. Then you got Tamika Tiny Harris, Tiny being T.I.'s wife. Oh god, yeah. Tamika Scott and a girl named Tamara Coggins. All right. So those are the 4 members of the group. Production was done by I believe it was done by Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri does a lot of the production, as well as a guy named Manuel Seal Jr. and Organized Noise does some of the production on the album. But Jermaine Dupri does the majority of the album. Alright, so the singles of the album are Just Kicking It, Understanding, Love on My Mind, and Tonight. Those are the singles of the album. It's a pretty decent album. I like it a lot. It's pretty dope. You can definitely tell this album production wise was like more on a hip hop base, had a hip hop feel to it compared to the later albums. Yeah, I mean, to me, the standout tracks for me are Just Kicking It, Let Me Know, Understanding, With You, Is My Living in Vain was pretty dope. I mean, pretty much the whole album's dope, man. I really like it. It's really dope. Love on My Mind, Tonight, Just Kicking It remix is pretty dope. You know what I mean? It's an album that I don't really hear too many people talk about, but I thought it was pretty good to show you guys this. Xscape, Hummin At Cha, Hummin Comin At Cha, released in 1993. Dope shit. Next album, still in Atlanta. We go with Xscape with Off the Hook, released in 1995. This came out 2 years after Hummin Comin At Cha. So by this time, Tamara Coggins had left the group, and I think it was just and they added a new person at the time. But yeah, pretty dope. The singles off this album are Feel So Good, Who Can I Run To, and Can't Hang, Do You Want To. This is definitely their best selling album, and yeah, pretty good stuff right here. Standout tracks for me are Feel So Good, Hard to Say Goodbye, that was pretty dope. Can't Hang, was another dope song. Do You Want To, What Can I Do, Work Me Slow, Love's a Funny Thing, and Keep It On The Real. Yeah, pretty good album. Compared to the first album, this album was like more it was more mature compared to the first album. Yeah, it does have sexual themes, but it's like more like mature compared to the first album, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think this is considered to be their best selling album. But yeah, 95 was a great year for R&B, just music in general. But yeah, Xscape Off the Hook, released in 1995. I just gotta say one thing. I like Candy Burris, but I just can't stand the way she talks. Like, she just has like that really annoying, like, screechy voice. Like, I don't know if I can. Like, it's just mad annoying. And then Tiny is so ugly. Like, I don't know what whatever. They're matched in heaven, I guess. But whatever. That was a little off topic. I just had to throw that out there. But yeah, Xscape Off the Hook, released in 1995. Next album, we're gonna go to BX, The Bronx. We're gonna go with Aaron Hall with his first album, The Truth, released in 1993. You guys should know who Aaron Hall is. At one point was part of the group Guy. He was the lead singer of the group Guy. Yeah, and they broke up and then they kind of went their separate ways. And then he dropped this album in '93. All right, singles off this album: "Don't Be Afraid," "I Miss You," "Get a Little Freaky with Me," "When You Need Me," and "Let's Make Love." All right, those are the singles of the album. All right, standout tracks for me are "Do Anything," "Open Up," "Until I Found You," the "Don't Be Afraid," "Sex You Down Some More" version. Is completely different from the Juice soundtrack version, which I prefer. Which kind of wish was on this album, was not. But at that time, like, you had to get, if you wanted a certain song, you had to get a particular project. That's just how it works. I mean, it's smart, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. "When You Need Me" was pretty dope. "I Miss You," and "Until the End of Time." Those are the singles. Those are the standout tracks for me. Aaron Hall is very dope, very underrated. There's some controversy because a lot of people say that R. Kelly stole Aaron Hall's sound, or like his whole style, his whole steez. I mean, it is what it is on that, but it is what can you say? But overall, I mean, yeah, they do sound similar vocally, but R. Kelly's R. Kelly. Yeah, R. Kelly's obviously the better, in my opinion, the better artist, in my opinion. Not to take anything away from Aaron Hall, but he doesn't have the catalog or the career that R. Kelly did. But R. Kelly, being who he is, unfortunately, what can you say, But yeah, Aaron Hall with The Truth, released in 1993. I believe this is his best-selling album too. Alright, let's see. Get a sip of water. Alright. Next album. We're gonna go with Total. This is their first album. This was released in 1996. This is their debut album. I do have their second album. Kim, I think it's Kim, Keisha, and Pam. That's the name of the album, and of course that's their names. Because there's three members. I believe they're from Newark. They're from Jersey. I don't know what part of Jersey they're from, but they're from Jersey. And man, dope album. The singles off this album are "Can't You See," "No One Else," "Kissing You," and "Do You Think About Us." Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me are "Do You Know," "Do You Think About Us," "Someone Like You," "Love Is All We Need," "Don't Ever Change," "Spend Some Time," and "Can't You See." Those are the songs that I like. Those are the standout tracks. But me personally, I prefer the second album, Kim, Keisha, and Pam. To me, that's the best album in my personal opinion. It was actually my introduction. Well, yeah, it was my introduction to them because I got into them like around like 99, 2000, and stuff like that. And that album was my introduction to Total, and then I found out about this album. But that "Can't You See" song was all over New York in the mid '90s. So, but obviously I was too young to know who they were. But I did remember "Can't You See," and that was also featured on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. You know what I mean? Cool album, but I prefer the first album. In my personal opinion, I think it's a better album. But yeah, Total, self-titled track, released in 1996. Alright, next album, we go with Monifah, with the album Home, released in 2000. Monifah, you guys should know her, known for her affiliation with Heavy D. She was Heavy D. She was under the tutelage of the late great Heavy D. Heavy D discovered, and the rest is history. I definitely need to get her first album, Moods Moments album. Fire, I love that album. I just don't have a hard copy. Definitely need to get that. I do have a second album, Mahogany, which I wasn't too crazy about. There was a couple songs here and there that was dope, but that's near or there. But it's not touching the first album. But yeah, this is her third album called Home. Um, I believe the only single of this album is called I Can Tell, which was actually pretty good. Um, Standout tracks for me are Rescue Me, Peaches and Cream, I Can Tell, Too Late, How You Gonna Love Me, Hard to Say Goodbye, Free Again, and Fairy Tales. Those are standout tracks for me. I think this is a pretty dope album. Love the production on it. Teddy Riley does some production on it. Ty Fife does some production on it. You know what I mean? From what I understand, the album didn't sell very well. Not sure why, but I thought it was a pretty dope album. But yeah, definitely check it out. Like I said, so far I've heard the first three albums, including this one. And my favorite is Moves Moments. That's my favorite album for her. Mahogany was kind of in my opinion. But yeah, Monifah with Home, released in 2000. All right. Next album, we're gonna go with Reaction Effect, Hard or Smooth, released in 1992. Hip hop duo. I believe they're from the Bronx. Yeah, because which it consists of two members, Markel Riley and Akil Davidson. Those are the two members of the group. They had another member named Brandon Mitchell, but he got killed in 1990. He got shot to death, and they had an album. They had their first album, Erection Effect, released in 1989. I think it's kind of hard to find because I didn't know that was their first album until like a couple of weeks ago. I always thought this was their first album, but funny enough, this is their second album. Uh, Known for the single Rump Shaker, that song was all over MTV, BET, like all the video music box. It was all over the radio. I mean, come on, like that shit just goes hard, man. Love that shit. You know what I mean? Oops, what song to put down? Yeah, sorry about that. So, Rump Shaker being the big single of the album, the only single of the album. Standout tracks for me is Rump Shaker, New Jack Swing, Part 2, Wreck Shop, um, Knocking Boots, Here We Come, Tell Me How You Feel. Uh, Pretty much the whole album is dope, man. This whole album goes hard. It's really dope. It's a nice mixture of hip hop and R&B, but it's dope. It's a nice blend. It sounds like kind of like a blend tape that Ron G would make. It just kind of has that feel to it. You know what I mean? Really, really dope shit right here. You can find it, definitely pick it up. Highly recommend it. All right, dope shit right here. All right, next album I want to talk about is Little Blunt with A Higher Level. This was released in I think 1999. That was the release date of this album. Little Blunt, I believe he's from Memphis, Tennessee. Known for his affiliation with Indo G. Indo G at one point was part of 3 6 Mafia. Then he broke out after the second album. No, after the first song is when he broke off out of them, and then his second album kind of did his own thing. But this is like the artist that was under Indo G. But yeah, man. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. Really got some shit. This is honestly a blind buy for me. I was like, you know what? I saw Indo G's name. I was like, yeah, that shit definitely gotta be dope. Standout tracks for me is Swinging on the Block, Down to Tennessee, We Want Your Body, Situation Critical, A Higher Level, Life in the Fast Lane, Moving the Hits, Drama in My Life, Little Johnny, and Mind Blown. Yeah, dope album, dope M-Town Funk, you know what I mean? Pretty dope shit right here. Little Blunt, A Higher Level, released in 1999, dope shit right here. Alright. Next album. We're gonna go to Cali. We're going to San Diego by the way of Oakland by the way of San Diego. With my man Paperboy. 9 Yards. The 9 Yards released in 1992. This is his first album. Yeah. I believe he was discovered by Rhythm D. Rhythm D, who's the in-house producer for Ruthless Records at one point. Eazy-E, he did the Real Motherfucking G's and that kind of thing. That's which pretty much catapulted his career, to say the least. But pretty much he produced practically the whole album. But yeah, pretty good stuff. The single of this album was Diddy, which is pretty good. Stand out charts for me is Diddy. Bumpin' was pretty dope. Studs. Let's see what else. Jack Move, Zooted. Shit, the whole album's dope, man. I mean, the whole album is fucking dope. It's just dope West Coast hip hop, early '90s West Coast G Funk, dope shit right here. The 9 Yards by Paperboy, released in 1992. All right. Then we got the next album with High Five with Keep It Goin. This was released in 1992. This is their second album. Recipes to Tony Thompson and recipes to Pooh. Tony Thompson, he died because he was found dead. I think next to his apartment. He was like they were saying like that he was inhaling like Freon from the AC, and that's just pretty much killed him and things like that. And then recipes to Pooh. I think right after the release of this album, he got paralyzed from the neck down, from the chest down, practically due to a car accident. You know what I mean? And yeah, pretty dope. Pretty dope album. Singles of the album, She's Playing Hard to Get and Quality Time. Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me are She's Playing Hard to Get. That was pretty dope. Quality Time. That shit goes hard. That was produced by R. Kelly. Definitely has that. It definitely has that that 12 play kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? It kind of has that vibe to it. Another joint that was dope too. Quality Time, I said. She Said, Fly Away, a little bit older now, which another joint produced by R. Kelly, which in my opinion, again, has that 12 play feel to it. Let's see what else. A little bit older now, like I said before, Video Girl, whatever you say. Yeah, dope album. Like I said, recipes to Tony Thompson, the lead singer of the group that died of inhalation of Freon. Pooh, recipes to him. He died, I think around like sometime last year he died, and then Russell Neal, he ended up leaving the group due to money issues and things like that. But yeah, High Five, Keep It Going. This is their second album. Dope group, very underrated group in my opinion. Dope shit. Let me get a swig of water. All right. Next album was kind of a blind buy for me. Danny D with Back to Boom, released in 1996. It's a cat from Miami. This was pretty much like Miami-based music, so I wasn't really too crazy about that. So I just sort of covered him like I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was gonna be on some gangster shit, but you know what I mean. But really wasn't. It was like that 2 Live Crew type of shit. It's not my thing, so could have done without it, honestly. All right, next album. Bobby Brown with Bobby. This is his third album, released in 1992. So the story with this album was that Bobby Brown originally was supposed to come out with an album called Mythical Magic, but for some reason that album got shelved. It never came out. It's unreleased. Would love for that album to come out. Hold up. This fucking dog. Hey, shut up! Hey. Oh, sorry about that fucking dog, man. Keep barking. for no damn reason. But anyways, getting back to this album. Again, like I said, he was supposed to come out with an album called Mythical Magic in 1990, but it never came out. Got shelved for unknown reasons, and then he started working on this album. And it came out, and this album came out. 92 was a very busy year for Bobby Brown because around that time, that's when he got married to the late great, Whitney Houston that same year, and I think like a month later. He dropped this album, Bobby, in August of that year. This album has 6 singles. Holy shit! Singles are "Humping Around," "Good Enough," "Get Away," "That's the Way Love Is," "Something in Common," and "Two Could Play That Game." Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me is "Humping Around," "Two Could Play That Game," "Get Away," "Till the End of Time," "Pretty Little Girl," "One More Night" was pretty dope. Something in common with Whitney Houston, fire. That shit goes hard. Love that shit. "That's the Way Love Is." "College Girl" was pretty dope, and "Storm Away." "Storm Away," pretty much the whole album is dope, man. I mean, it goes hard. With this album, he had like more input. He had more creative control. It had mixed reviews because at this time, he was still using that whole New Jack Swing kind of feel on the album, and as well as like the slow jams. But New Jack Swing at that time was kind of dying down. It was kind of it's getting played out. It was dope in the late '80s, early '90s. I think to me, in my personal opinion, I think the golden years of New Jack Swing was '88 to like '92. But I know some people don't really like New Jack Swing. I love New Jack Swing. I think it's dope. It's just a different sound. You know what I mean? And I would love to see a resurgence of New Jack Swing R&B. I know that Bruno Mars did that before, but I would like to see more brothers doing that. You know what I mean? But yeah, pretty dope album, underrated in my opinion. People always talk about "Don't Be Cruel," but I think it's just as good too. But Bobby, by Bobby Brown, his third album, released in 1992. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston, and rest in peace to Bobby Christina, their daughter. All right. Oh shit. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Next album I'm going to talk about. We can go to Cali. We're going to go to Compton. We'll go with Coolio with My Soul, released in 1997. The late great Coolio, rest in peace to him, man. This is his third album. I have his first 2 albums. It Takes a Thief and Gangsta's Paradise, which are my favorite albums from him. This album, like I said, came out in '97. Came out 2 years after Gangsta's Paradise. There's only 2 singles of the album. See You When You Get There and Ooh La La. Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me is One Mo. Ooh La La was dope. Can You Dig It? Nature of the Business. That goes hard. Can I Get Down One More Time? The self-titled track My Soul. Let's Do It. Those are the standout tracks for me. I like the album, you know what I mean, but I just felt like it was a little bit too not playful. It wasn't as, I don't know, man. It was a little tame compared to the first 2 albums. The first 2 albums like more in your face, and it's just the production on the album is so fun. Those 2 albums are phenomenal. This album was kind of tame. It's kind of like more commercial sounding. It's like more safe, but it has its moments too. Like the song "Hit 'Em" with Razzcast, I was kind of disappointed with that because I would have thought that with that song, with Razzcast, it would have been dope, but it was like on some commercial shit. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But yeah, Coolio My Soul, released in 1997. Rest in peace to Coolio. Album was okay. I know it went. I think it was certified double platinum. I think which is good. But yeah, compared to the first two albums, yeah, I just wasn't a fan of it. But yeah, Coolio My Soul released in 1997. We got a couple. We got like four more to do. All right. Next album, Wu-Tang with Chamber Music. Um, this was released in 2009. This was pretty much a compilation album. Um, you know what I mean? Pretty much is a pretty much Wu-Tang. They did a collaboration with a group with a soul band from Brooklyn called the Revelations. All right. So and it was like a whole mixture of people and things of that nature. So they did a good chunk of the album. You know what I mean? Fizzy Womack of MOP, aka Little Fame, does some production on the album. Pretty much, they produced the whole album pretty much, and RZA, he added on his little touches here and there. Um, Standout tracks for me. Let's see. I would say Harbor Masters, Radiant Jewels, Evil Deeds, I Wish You Were Here, and NYC Crack. Those are like the only songs I liked from the album. Everything else I wasn't really too crazy about. And what's crazy about this album was that Method Man wasn't even on this album. Method Man, Jizza, Master Killer, Capadonna, they weren't even on the album. Like, what kind of shit is that? Um, but there was another album that they dropped, a compilation album that came out 2011 called Legendary Weapons, which I would like to get my hands on. That shit goes hard. That shit blows this album out the water. You know what I mean? But I just had to get it because I'm a Wu head, and it was only right. All right. But yeah, Wu-Tang Chamber Music released in 2009. All right. Next album, Little Flipper, Mr. Capone, collab. I think it's their first collab album that they dropped. This was released in 2006. This album was okay. I believe the single of the album was King of the Streets, which there is a video for. Standout tracks for me are On the Block, Hustle for the Same Thing, Gangsta Trippin', Ride with a Gangster, Of a Soldier. Those are the only singles that only songs that I like. Everything else I could have done without, but I just bought it, whatever. It was there. Mind you, by the way, all these CDs in the stack, I got it from a thrift store, so just had to show you guys that too as well. So don't sleep on thrift stores, man. Thrift store got some shit. All right, but yeah, Little Flip, Mr. Capone, released in 2006 with Connected. Next album, we're gonna go to Cleveland, Ohio. We're gonna go with MC Brains with Lover's Lane. This was released in 1992. Yeah, pretty cool album. He was on the Motown Records, and then he actually has a song with Boyz II Men on the album because they were label mates and stuff like that. He has a couple of singles of the album. He has 3 singles. Uchi Coochie, Brainstorming, and everybody's talking about MC Brains. This album kind of has like how would I like to compare it? In the likes of like Father MC, if you like that kind of stuff, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. So you got to me the standout tracks for me is Everybody's Talking about MC Brains, Boyz II Men the sequel, The B is Dumb, and yeah, that's like the only song of the album. Yeah, I it was okay. It wasn't all that. And it was really shows like 9 songs. Yeah, but like I said, it's kind of like in the veins of like Father MC. So if you like that kind of stuff, then I think you guys would like that. But yeah, MC Brains, Lover's Lane, released in 1992. And last but not least, SWV with their third album, titled Release Some Tension, released in 1997. There's 4 singles of the album. Singles are Can We, Someone, Lose My Cool, and Rain. Those are the singles of the album. Standout tracks for me is Someone, Love Like This, Can We, Rain, Give It Up, When You Cry, and Here For You. Those are the standout tracks for me. Um, my real feeling of this album, I felt like it was good, but at that time, fucking Diddy, is the man that he is. He had his hands in almost everything that was East Coast as far as a commercial. So I believe he was the. Oh no, I thought he was. Um, like he has some like production on this album, and he had this, his producers with him. He had he had put Sean. Diddy had some stuff produced on here. D Dot did some stuff. Timberland, a couple other people, but my issue with this album is that I'm okay with hip hop collabs, but if it's done right. I just kind of feel like this album was. It felt kind of rushed, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Um, it was, yeah. I don't know. Like it's just some of it worked, some didn't. I like the Lose My Cool with Redman. I was very disappointed with that. Could have done without that, honestly. Um, Give Up. Did I mention that? No, that was, yeah. That song was cool. Come and Get Some with E40. I could have done without that. And I like E40, but yeah, it just felt, yeah. And then Getting Funky with Snoop. Like, come on, man. Like, nah. Like, this shit is not. This album could have been a lot better, but I just felt like they were trying to gain hip hop audience, which is smart. But and then it fell under that bad boy spell, and it didn't work. I prefer their second album and their first album, which I need to get my hands on those first two albums. New Beginning and the what's the other album that they dropped? The first album, I think it's called It's About Time. Yeah, so New Beginning was the second album. It's About Time is the first album, so I need to get those on hard copy. But yeah, SWV with Release Some Tension, released in 1997. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. This video. So I was kind of like all over the place. I wasn't really prepared. But yeah, next up I'll do another CD collection and more reviews and things of that nature. So y'all be easy, stay safe and be easy. All right, peace.